For months and weeks now, some William Ruto's allies have been accusing Rigathi's team for having infiltrated Gen Z protests with the sole intention of overthrowing William Ruto. And now DCI is recommending some charges against some Rigathi Gachagwa's allies. Let's have a look at this. National Police Service, Directorate of Criminal Investigations, 24th September 2024. Let's jump to read. Inquiry into allegations of planning, mobilizing, and financing of violent protests that were witnessed in the country in the recent past. This is an investigation into a case of conspiracy to commit a felony contrary to Section 393 of Penal Code and soliciting or inciting others to commit offense contrary to Section 391 of the Penal Code. The Directorate of Criminal Investigations, received intelligence report of planning, mobilizing, and financing of violent protests that were witnessed in the country on 25th June 2024 and subsequent days, where Honorable Benjamin Gadhiru Mwangi, alias Major Donk, Member of Parliament for Embakasi Central, and Honorable James Mwangi Gakuya, Member of Parliament for Embakasi North, among others, were implicated following several meetings that took place at Hotel Boulevard within Nairobi. Investigations into the above allegations was instituted and the following investigative steps undertaken. The two members of parliament were summoned on 31st July 2024 and their statements recorded. However, they decided to hand over their mobile phones for forensic examinations, necessitating, let's jump to another paragraph there, recommendations. Probable charges include, number one, soliciting or inciting others to commit offense contrary to Section 391 of the Penal Code. Number one, Honorable Benjamin Gadhiru Mwangi. Two, conspiracy to commit a felony contrary to Section 393 of the Penal Code. Number one, Honorable Benjamin Gadhiru Mwangi, Honorable James Mwangi Gakuya, Honorable George Theuri, Honorable Martin Derrick Ngunjiri Wambugu, Mr. Pius G. Munene. Then three, money laundering contrary to Section 3, 4, and 7 of the Proceeds of Crimes and Anti-Money Laundering Act. Number one, Honorable Benjamin Gadhiru Mwangi. Kindly advise Abdallah Commission for Director Criminal Investigations. So DCI is recommending three charges. The first charge, soliciting or inciting others to commit offense. Number two, conspiracy to commit a felony. The third charge, money laundering. And those five individuals mentioned are all Rigathi Gachagwa's close allies. In fact, Ngunjiri Wambugu and Theuri are working in Rigathi Gachagwa's office. These others are MPs, very close Rigathi Gachagwa's allies. I'm seeing this as being aimed at Rigathi Gachagwa. Rigathi is the main target. And things are only but going to get worse because a few minutes ago, Silvanus Osoro said this, it is done. It is done means they have already collected enough signatures to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. And one Rigathi Gachagwa's blogger, Malema, also shared out this. This is about 1 hour ago as I speak. Dear MPs, read this verse before you execute your evil acts this afternoon. Genesis 4:1-16. So regarding Gachagwa's allies are crying, and from William Ruto's team, we are gathering information that already they have acquired enough signatures that will enable them impeach Rigathi Gachagua. And I've always maintained here, and I repeat, that Rigathi will easily be impeached. And if he can't be impeached this moment, then William Ruto and his team should forever keep their silence. They should never talk about impeaching Rigathi again. The job has to be done now or never. This is the time to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. I want us to dig deep into all this for Kenyans to understand in clear terms what's happening here and why these charges are being brought at this time and what we can read from those charges. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's proceed. If it's true, this Rigathi Gachagwa's allies indeed mobilized and planned and went ahead to infiltrate Gen Z protests, then I won't be wrong to say Rigathi had an intention of maybe overthrowing William Samoei Ruto. And we know that in the event William Ruto could have gone, Rigathi could have benefited. He could have taken over from William Ruto. So if it's true, these leaders planned and orchestrated all that, Rigathi is as guilty as charged. And William Ruto and his team should move with speed in impeaching him. If it's not true, then William Ruto and his team are clearly misusing our security organs to settle political scores. And Kenya should reject and resist such acts of misusing our security organs to play politics. That's something coming out very, very clearly. And again, if you look at it very objectively, these charges being brought against these individuals are meant to send a clear message to Rigathi Gachagua that next will be you. If these members of parliament goes ahead impeaches Rigathi, then I'm seeing a very high possibility where some charges will be pressed against Rigathi. They'll accuse him that he was the person who financed all this. And not only this, we also know Rigathi Gachagua had several corruption cases which were dropped upon them forming the government. Those cases might also be revived. So this is just to send an early message to Rigathi Gachagua that upon your impeachment, you'll also be arrested. That's the message, ladies and gentlemen. And again, if you look at it very carefully, it's coming out very, very clearly that the relationship between Ruto and his deputy Rigathi, that relationship is broken beyond any repair. It can't be repaired. These two leaders must now just go their separate ways. Ruto and his team are determined in making sure they send Rigathi Gachagua home. So Rigathi's impeachment is coming. The best thing Rigathi should do before he is humiliated, let him, if possible, resign. If he resigns, he'll at least have something to tell the people. He'll just go to the people and tell them, I resigned because I could not allow myself serve in a government that oppressing you people. If he waits to be impeached, he'll quit with a lot of humiliations. So I'd rather advise Rigathi to resign before he's impeached. But then again, we know Rigathi can't resign because his continued stay as a deputy president is only but helping in building him politically. The more he remains the deputy president, the more he's building himself politically. We know that power attracts. Mm. If he quits, then he's going to lose that power. And maybe leaders and even the ground might decide to dump him because he will not be having that power that is attracting. So again, chances of Rigathi Gachagua resigning are very, very minimal. And to couple with the fact that Rigathi is a typical African, a typical Kenyan politician. A Kenyan politician will hardly resign. In fact, they rather die in office than to resign. Let's meet in our next analysis, where we are going to dig deeper into details on the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua and onto the sentiments by people such as Silvanus Osoro. It's done. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Any person watching us outside Kenya, drop a comment, let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. If possible, subscribe, give the video a like. Thank you.